Hey everyone, this class is going to be slightly different in the way that it's going to be minimally cued, and I'm also going to do a voiceover on top of the class instead of cueing while we're moving. I recently went to a class in person where the teacher did minimal cues, and it was a really interesting experience where almost the lack of guidance meant that you had to be more in the experience, because she wasn't telling you how to do a downward facing dog or a warrior two. You kind of had to figure out what that felt like for you today. So in saying that, we want to have at least a kind of a beginner intermediate understanding of pose names. We're going to be doing pretty simple asanas today, but it just means that when I call out a name, you kind of know where we might be heading it to. I think what's really cool about this is that we get to coach ourselves and we get to notice what we're saying and how we're moving. So really try and pay attention to what's going on in your mind as we move and hold and breathe in these asanas. Speaking of, we'll spend about 3 to 5 breaths in each pose. I really hope you enjoy the class. Let me know how you find it, and let's get started. Let's get started in a child's pose. Bring your toes together and sink your hips over your heels. Arms reaching forward, forehead towards the ground. We'll take about 10 really slow and deep breaths here. Inhaling through the nose, filling up through the belly, the ribs and the chest. Exhaling through the nose, letting the body sink towards the ground more. Start to rise into tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Then extend your right foot out to the side for half straddle, right foot in line with the hips. Take a few breaths where you rock forward and back with your hips. Walk your hands back towards you. Lift up the chest so you're standing. Deep breath in as you reach your left arm up to the sky. As you exhale, gate pose. Right arm down the right leg. Left arm travels up and over. Big stretch for the left side body. Couple of breaths here. Inhale, come back through center. As you exhale, left hand comes to the left side of the mat, modified side plank. Left hand underneath the shoulder. Walk your hands down to the ground, tabletop position again. Other side, left foot steps out to the side in line with the hip. A couple of breaths shifting forward and back. Walk your hands back again, lift up your chest. Take a deep breath in as you reach your right arm up to the sky. As we exhale, side bend, gate pose. Tuck the ribs in towards the hips here to keep the spine long. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, right hand to the right side of the mat, left arm up, modified side plank. Squeeze the glutes, shoulder blades towards each other. Walk the hands forward. This time, tuck onto the toes, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Push through the arms. Long spine. Maybe you pedal out the feet here, dropping one heel down, dropping the other heel down. A few breaths. Roll forward into your plank position. Shoulders on top of the wrist, maybe slightly forward. You can either have your knees down or your knees off the ground. Take a couple of breaths here, not too long. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga, tuck the elbows in. Sphinx pose, elbows on the ground, squeeze glutes, push the forearms down. If you felt like more, bhujangasana, cobra pose, elbows off the ground. Roll yourself back down. Push into the hands, down dog. Couple of breaths here. Roll forward back into your plank position. Couple of breaths. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, maybe upward facing dog this time. Knees, hips off the ground, push the hands down. Downward facing dog, come up and over your toes. Walk your feet up to your hands, forward fold, Uttanasana. Little bend of your knees, tuck the chin into chest. Walk your hands to the shins, push away for halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, couple of breaths. Back into Uttanasana, forward fold. Roll up through standing, Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose, arms reach up and over. Couple of breaths here. Tadasana, mountain pose, hands by the sides. We're going to flow through a couple rounds of sun salutation A. The first round will take it a bit slower. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose, about 2 breaths here. Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, squeeze the shoulder blades back along the spine. Plant the hands down, step back into your plank position. Breathe in as you shift your weight forward, shoulders come over your wrists. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend of choice, about 2 breaths here. Downward facing dog, lifting through the hips, pushing through the hands, heels towards the ground. A few breaths here. Walk your feet up to your hands, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose, big reach through the fingertips. Tadasana, hands by the sides, palms facing forward. Let's try that again a little faster. Upward hands pose. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Hands down, step back into your plank position. Chaturanga, your back bend of choice. Downward facing dog. Couple of breaths at the back. Walk your feet forward, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Rise up to standing, arms overhead. Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's try one round of sun salutation B. Utkatasana, bend your knees, arms up, chair pose, hips back, couple of breaths. Folding forward, Uttanasana. Moving through the same sun salutation sequence until we head back into our downward facing dog. Once you get to the back, hold for an extra breath. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Left heel comes down to the 45. Lift the arms above your head. Arms come down, step your right foot back, flow through your vinyasa if you would like, meeting in downward facing dog. Bend your legs, left foot steps forward, right heel comes down, warrior one. Bending your left knee forward to the front of the mat. Hands down to the ground, step your left foot back, flow through your vinyasa. A couple of breaths at the back. Walk forward, halfway lift, deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Utkatasana, bend the knees, hips back, arms reach up. Couple of breaths. Tadasana, hands by the sides. From here, we're going to move into some balancing postures. I'm just going to turn to the front, but you can do this wherever. Starting with tree pose, Vrikshasana. Right foot comes up towards the inner thigh. Of course, you can have it lower down the leg if you would prefer. Hands might come to the chest. About 3 to 5 breaths here. Hand to foot pose. Now you can either take the hand behind the back of the right thigh or take your peace fingers around your right big toe, extending the foot towards the side. Left arm can come to the side, or you can try a little side bend, reaching the left arm up and over. Release the leg, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Reach the left hand in the direction of the ground, tap from the hips. touch down. Nice job. Swap to the other side, tree pose. Left foot this time. Take it up the leg, squeeze the glutes. Hand to foot pose. Remember, there's always an option with the left hand behind the thigh or peace fingers around the left big toe, extending the foot out to the side. Think left shoulder down, and it is totally okay to fall over or wobble here. Option with the right arm up, side bending. Transitioning to half moon. Right arm reaching down, left arm reaching up. Nice job. And shake it out. If you were to the side of the mat, let's come back forward. Interlace the fingertips behind the back. Clasp the hands, pull the knuckles down. Open the chest. Couple breaths here. Keep the hands interlaced as you fold forward, reaching the knuckles towards the front of the mat. At any point, you can release the hands as well. Halfway lift, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, hands down, moving through your vinyasa, meeting in child's pose. Start to walk your hands back, come onto your hips, and then take your feet wide, setting up for Upavista Konasana, wide-legged forward fold. Toes facing up, you might have the knees bent here or a little bit longer. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk the hands forward. About 5 slow breaths here. Walk your hands back. Let's add a side bend. Breathe in, right arm reaches high. Exhale, reach it up and over the leg. Come back through center, breathe in, left arm this time. Exhale, reach up and over. Come back through center. Bring your left foot to the inner of the right thigh. Left hand reaches back, modified wild thing. Push through the hips, lift them up. Right arm travels back. Squeeze the glutes here. Come back down, swap the legs over, right foot to the left inner thigh, right hand plants down, lifts through the hips, left arm reaches up and away. Come back down, sweep your legs to the front. We're going to roll down onto our backs. Draw the knees up to the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug of gratitude. We'll finish our practice with a twist. Lift the knees up and over the hips and then drop them to the right. Left arm reaching away. A couple of breaths here. Bring your knees back up through center. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, drop the knees to the left. Come back through center. Savasana. Corpse pose. Legs might be long. A little tuck in of the chin, tuck of the tailbone as well. We'll be here for a few minutes of quiet. I'll let you know when we'll be transitioning out on the other side. And just start to bring some awareness back to the breath. I'll leave us here to transition out in our own time. So if you did have a little bit longer, then I encourage you to stay. Either way, thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Let me know how you found it. I'm always up to trying something new. But I can't wait to move and breathe with you again sometime soon, either here on YouTube or on Patreon. I'll see you on the mat next time.